The following presentation is a production of Ride the Wave Media.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the KAYA podcast. Man, it's been a while, so super excited to be back. And I'm really thrilled that we're through the eclipse season and Mercury retrograde. I don't know about y'all, but that was a bumpy ride. So, super happy to be through that. For the most part, May is fairly smooth from an astrological standpoint and a really good time to just kind of get back on track with anything that may be hiccuped through Mercury retrograde season. We are now in Taurus season, and this is the season of grounding and beauty and finances and connecting to nature and art, design, our value system. So, even if you are not Taurus, don't have any major Taurus placements, we all are affected by the energy in the cosmos each month, regardless of your own personal placements. We all feel it. So, beautiful time to kind of connect with Mother Earth, to ground, to find yourself in nature, to relook at your relationship with finances and money and abundance, which a whole episode will come in the future about money. So yeah, on today's episode, I really want to just dive into something super personal and close to my heart, and that is the 5-year anniversary of KAYA. So if you've been listening or have heard this, KAYA stands for Come As You Are, with a K because Kambria with a K. So this will be on May 5th of 2024 will be the 5-year anniversary of KAYA being in existence. On 5/5 of 2019 was the first ever Come As You Are KAYA Kommunity event, and it was held in downtown Salt Lake at what a place was then called Ladybird. They don't operate anymore, which is unfortunate, but it was a really beautiful co-working space focused on women. And I had a dear friend and friends who ran it, and we held the space, and this event just literally was so transformational. It was held, I believe, on a Sunday, and we just had multiple women come, and everybody opened up their hearts and opened up their souls. And I had some really powerful, impactful speakers, and we did some energy work and some partner work and healing and singing and crying. And it was all done in community. And that was really kind of the beginning of KAYA. So to hear the origin story of how KAYA started, and it wasn't just like, oh, I want to start a spirituality business. It really came through inspiration and a download. Same with the name, right? KAYA came that way. So that was the first KAYA community event ever. And this will be 5 years of finding community with others, being a safe place for humans to come and to be who they are and to connect and to heal. It's been really interesting as being, I guess you would technically call me like the CEO or the founder of KAYA, right? Our brains and society loves to know what that actually means. I just feel like I have been what I would prefer to call an Eaglebone. Eaglebones are one of the strongest, if not the strongest, bones, and they are hollow. And I was taught this by one of my mentors along the way, who was of Native descent. Being an Eaglebone is being super strong and understanding and being grounded, but you're hollow, allowing to be like a clear source, right? Hollow energy and information flows through and out, flows through and out. So for me personally, that has been my experience with KAYA. And it's been really interesting because I view KAYA as a living, breathing thing. And it's not my thing. I'm just the Eaglebone that holds the space to bring it to whoever wants to be involved. There's been a couple retreats that have happened. I have to say, I really, really love the retreats. They they tend to be very energetically big for me personally. But they really, it's so beautiful when you get a bunch of very powerful humans together for a few days, disconnecting from their lives, disconnecting from technology, disconnecting from the world, and just being totally super present in their healing, in their connection, in their ability to transcend. I'm just like, I'm literally having these flashbacks of the first ever Kaya retreat and the second Kaya retreat, and just so many things that you literally cannot plan that just happen because you know you're in the right place doing the right thing at the right time. So there's been a couple retreats. We did Zodiac nights forever. And that was also, such a blast. And it was fun to get together once a month and talk about the sun sign of the Zodiac that we're in, right? So great news, everybody. Both of those things are coming back. Woohoo! I hope you're now cheering in your car. You are clapping, you are screaming, you are jumping for joy, okay? So those are definitely two things that have been on the docket for a minute. And I'm like, okay, we're going to bring those back. So definitely get back to a monthly Zodiac series. And, because I think for me, I kind of was like, oh man, people, now that we've done these for a couple years, people are really understanding what it is to be a Taurus or what it is to be this. And, I'm human, just like everyone else. I get in my head about things or I write stories. And I'm like, well, no, it's like people aren't interested anymore. Well, the reality is, I have met many of you that are listening to this podcast and you have never been to a Zodiac night, right? It's like, okay, cool. These are the only people I'm ever going to meet. And also, what I realized for the people who were coming consistently was it was a really powerful time. And knowing that you could show up to a Kaya event and see your people and see other people who you've connected with in the past, or maybe you haven't seen, and be able to connect in real life. And I know for me, I know that that's been missing. So, Zodiac nights are coming back. We are going to do those again. Come learn about the sun sign we're in. We'll definitely take on some different paths with that. If you are new here, if I have met you in the last couple years, even if you've come to one or two Zodiacs, but you haven't made it to all, I love those. And what I also love is I love being able to share information that is super useful to everyone's life. So understanding what Taurus traits really are. I know a lot of us are on social media and there's a lot of astrology stuff on TikTok and Instagram and all of the things. And a lot of the time it's awesome and it's fun and it's funny to watch. And a lot of what I've seen is not totally accurate for the archetype of those signs. So something that I'm passionate about is really giving people a full understanding, because you could have a Taurus child, Taurus girlfriend, Taurus lover, Taurus parent, and understanding some of these basic archetypes of Taurus is so, so impactful in those relationships, as well as understanding the current season where the sun is for yourself, for your business, for your own personal growth. What are the seasons to grow? What are the seasons to slow down? What are the best seasons to start something? When do we market ourselves best? When do we play? When do we focus on our relationships more? There's a time and season for everything. So those are coming back. As far as a retreat standpoint, yes. And what I would hope, if you've listened this far, this is definitely an episode I want to hear your feedback. People DM me, text me, call me, come to the Kaya party on Sunday 5/5. Let me know. Send us an email at comeasyouare@gmail with a K. Come as you are spelled out at Gmail. Please let us know your feedback. What are you craving? What do you, as the viewers, as the listeners, as the most important part of Kaya community, what do you want? Do you want to see a retreat? Do you want to see Zodiac nights come back? Sadhana. So Some of you are now cheering and some of you are like, no. Sadhana is our very early morning meditation where we begin when it's dark and we end once the sun has come up or is rising. The entire purpose of sadhana, at least how we do it here, is to greet the sun before the sun greets you. There's something very powerful about knowing that you have beat the sun, right? You are going to greet the sun before the sun greets you. It is a very early morning meditation. It is done that way on purpose. It is very personal and definitely, other than waking up so early, one of my ultimate favorite coming into community. And it is said in these times, right? We are in these Kali times that for 10 minutes of meditation in these times that we live in, it is 10 times, or for every minute is 10 times good karma, right? Because these times are so stressful and so intense and things are happening and it's just really, really, really big, intense times. So when we can meditate, we get 10 times good karma. So the traditional sadhana is technically a 2.5-ish hour sadhana. And so that gives you 24 hours of good karma. Here I have switched it. I have kind of, created something a little bit more doable for our lives and what we do here. And it's a super early morning meditation. You come in your pajamas, roll out of bed, head in, get on the mat, do some light movement, some, getting into our bodies a little bit of breath, some meditation, and then some chanting/singing, depending on if you choose to engage in that. I'm here to tell you, if you have not experienced a sadhana, y'all, it is life-changing. I have had people during retreats, we do sadhana every morning, and multiple people have said at different times, holy smokes, I've never felt that way unless I was, like on an actual like mushroom journey or actual plant medicine journey of some kind. So this is a really, really, really powerful thing. And the biggest half of sadhana is just getting to sadhana. So if you're thinking, I cannot wake up and go, right now it's better because the sun comes up later. So right now we're doing sadhana on May 12th. And again, I know this is like a podcast. You're not supposed to be specific with dates. Well, hopefully you're listening live. And if you're not, and it's way down the road, you missed it. Okay. But we are doing one on May 12th, which is Mother's Day. That one's going to be uber special because we're going to be honoring all of mother energy and all the moms. And then also amazing because it is my partner's birthday. So we'll be honoring her, which is super special. But definitely come to that. I know it's early, but what I also know is very few people have plans at 5:55 in the morning until 7 o'clock in the morning, right? Especially on a Sunday. So I hope to see y'all there. So sadhana, that is during the 5 years of Kaya, we actually did a 40-day sadhana, right? During COVID, we met on Zoom. I think there was about 25 of us that did it. And I think ultimately maybe 3 or 4 did it the full 40 days. So if you're listening and you were one of those 3 or 4, you got to message me because I want to give you a shout out for making it the full 40 days. I mean, I did it for the 40 days and had no choice, right? But we did 40 days of sadhana during the Kaya 5 years. What else did we do? Well, prior to Kaya 5 year, I launched this podcast, so that's exciting. The podcast got launched. We've also done new moon and full moon events. A lot of sound healing too, whether it be combined with breath work or just added into, any kind of healing event or new moon or full moon. Prior to Kaya, I wasn't big into astrology my whole life. That came, a year-ish before Kaya was founded. But I've definitely always loved the moon. I have always felt drawn to the moon and have always just been so enamored by her. And as being a woman and understanding I have my own personal moon cycle, and the more I learn about the moon cycles, especially the effect of the full moon on us as humans, the more that has come. So I don't know. I'm trying to think. There's just we've had amazing. Oh, we had a Kaya Faya one time, and we did like an outdoor fire thing, and it was so incredible because we were in the mountains, and the Kaya Faya was kind of similar to like this anniversary party. We just wanted to bring all Kaya people together that had come to any Kaya event, but it poured rain. We were up Big Cottonwood Canyon, and we started out, we had food and it was great. And then we're like, oh, it looks like the clouds are rolling in. And it was so incredible because we just stowed everything away. And then the rain came and we all just danced under the rain. And we had the absolute best time. And I mean, pouring, like torrential downpour. And dancing and singing. We have videos of that somewhere. I've got to make sure that we find that. What's also cool too is at the last retreat for Kaya, we were inside doing another really powerful kind of personal healing meditation. Actually, no, it was group work, and it was a really personal moment. And there was a really beautiful woman there who kind of had like this aha moment. And I kid you not, as soon as that aha moment happened, we looked outside, it started pouring rain. And I was like, okay, everyone leave your stuff. We're going outside. And we, same thing. I'm getting full chills as I'm telling the story. We just ran outside and we danced in the rain and we splashed in the puddles and we turned on our music and we were chanting. When I say chanting, it's people would see it as like singing, but it's a lot of mantra. And so we're singing or chanting mantra and we're doing it together and we're dancing in the rain. And I am literally in full chills and I'm probably going to start to get emotional. And as I'm sitting here doing this podcast, y'all can just know, like, the feeling of getting another retreat going has been on my mind. And I think some of my own personal hesitations or personal health and just life in general, I'm kind of getting off topic here, but everything that I have ever done with Kaya has stemmed from a place of feeling or gnosis or intuition or inspiration. It has not been, yes, I've done consistent things like the Zodiac, right? And that is all because I'm like, oh, I want to educate people. I want to teach people. I am so passionate about people understanding astrology, and not because it's a belief system that I want people to have, because astrology is not a belief system. Astrology is a language. And when you understand this language that has been shared and taught and understood for millions of years, right? um just it's incredible the impact it can have on your life. So, but I want y'all to know that the events and the holding of space and the retreats and the Zooms and the sadhanas are often just like, okay, cool, it's a feeling, it's a gnosis, people need sadhana, we got to schedule sadhana, right? Or, okay, I'm ready for a retreat, I know this retreat is going to happen, and like, let's put it together. So it's all been very intuitively based, it's been very inspirationally happened, and less about, oh, we got to do this. I do not pay for my life. Like, I have been very blessed. Y'all know I do real estate, but I do it intuitively, and I do it with the people that trust me and with the people who want to be in alignment with their goals, their values, as well as, the woo-woo energy, as well as being a complete and utter gangster at being a real estate agent. So, sidebar, if you need a good one, let me know. At least have a conversation with me. But, that's how I make my money. That's how I live. That's how I provide for my children and my family and myself. So, a lot of the Kaya stuff is just, there has to be an energy exchange. I have learned that. I tried to, like, the first Kaya event, I will tell you, was an all day event, including food. And if I remember, I think I charged $55 per person. Yep. So, for those of you that have held space, held events, right, 20-ish people came, and literally it was an all day. It was like 9 to 5 or 10 to 6 or something. It's been a while. And I provided food and I paid for the space. So it's not like these events are monetary gains for me, but what I have learned is everything requires an energetic exchange. And when people invest their energy, which in our world today, 9 times out of 10 just happens to be money, then they decide they are more committed and they will get more out of it, right? So, yeah, the first event was that. So I would just say, when I do events, when I hold space, it is so intuitively driven. It is motivated by somebody saying, hey, when's the next blank? And then I get it, y'all. You'll be like, I've been asking about a retreat. I've probably heard, when is your next retreat? Maybe 10 times or 15 times in the last year. So I know that that wants to come. So retreats are coming back. Also in that time frame, right, I have done private sound healing for people. I have done private energies work sessions. I just announced that I am back open to doing one-on-one Reiki / energy sessions with people. So if that's something that interests you or calls to you, let me know. Those spots are super limited, and there will be a little bit of a conversation prior to having the first session. So it's just, I feel in a sense, right, like this KAYA 5-year anniversary party has really helped me get very clear and get back into a place of like, this is important. The KAYA community was not something I started. I am just the Eaglebone that was chosen, or maybe I chose, I don't know, to bring it here. You, if you are listening, you are KAYA community. And every single person that shows up to a sadhana or a retreat or a Zodiac night is meant to be there. I know that for a fact. I have experienced that time and time and time again, which is why some events there will be 5 people there. Some events there will be 65 people there, and anywhere in between. And I have come to know over these 5 years that as long as I am an Eaglebone and I am a clear space, that the right things drop in at the right time, and that the exact people who are meant to be there will be there. So, reflecting back on 5 years of KAYA, I just want to send out my dearest and most heartfelt thank you to every single human who has chosen to come to any event across the board, in person, on Zoom. You've traveled. Even people who have never attended a KAYA event, but you have supported me through wishing me good luck. Those of you that I'm friends with online, on Instagram, my old journeys people that are still like liking my stuff. They're probably like, what? How do you go from slinging shoes and managing 100 freaking people all the time to, playing drums and sound bowls and talking about the stars? But, it is what it is, y'all. I'm still who I am, but all of that feels far more aligned. So I just want to thank every single person. I'm in so much, just feeling so much gratitude. And I'm just in awe, really. When I sit back, somebody the other day who doesn't know anything, she's like a body worker for me. And, I told her, and she's like, oh, that's cool. How long have you been doing that? And I was like, well, we're about to celebrate 5 years. And she was like, what? Wow. 5 years of holding events, 5 years of community, 5 years of energy exchange, 5 years of growth on my part. It is definitely a lot of self-reflection, self-awareness, self-growth on my part. So I just want you to know that there is not a single person that has attended an event that I am not grateful for. I am also very inspired by all of you. I know that I have been in a place, of, like I've shared multiple times, the last couple years for me, maybe few years really, have been a very personal deep dive of learning and healing. And am I willing to pull myself back? I think I get in my head like, oh man, like people don't care about KAYA community anymore. People aren't as engaged. And I can look at that and recognize that I myself have been further back because I've just been going through some stuff, right? And that's also okay. And I feel more ready and more confident to get back having some of these consistent things and putting these things together, knowing that the right bunch of people will show up at the right times. And I'm excited. I'm excited for the next 5 years of KAYA. I cannot wait for what we can do. Some of the things that are dropping in that I'm ready to do are like, yes, more retreats, more, retreats in outside locations, combination work with other people, pulling in other practitioners. So this is also an invitation if you are a practitioner of any kind and you want to co-collab or whatever, let's sit down and see if it's a good fit. Bringing back Zodiac nights. I'm also wanting to bring back courses, if those of you that are interested. Like, I'm a teacher at heart, y'all. I do birth chart readings and I love them. And then I hang up with you and I'm like, oh, I have so much more to tell them, teach them. So I want to bring in courses. Like, if that's something you would rather do, like I have an astrology course or I have a course on money, or would you rather like workshops, right? So these different things. One final thing, this will be the last thing before we end today's incredible podcast, as they always are, #Leo, is mini retreats. So I have had training and experience in a handful of different healing modalities. And I've had a couple people be like, I want to learn Reiki, or tell me more about Kundalini, or what about sound healing? So I am also thinking about doing like little mini weekends of introduction to energetics and how to use some of these different modalities, and kind of like a little buffet of different modalities so that each person can decide maybe which one they'd want to dive deeper into. This was something I did back in the first, same thing, I think during COVID. I had a really amazing group of just 3 or 4, maybe 5 women, and we called it the KAYA Healers, and we kind of went through a bunch of different modalities together. And that was definitely one of my favorite things as well. So looking to bring that back and change it up a little bit. So please, 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 if you are listening and you make it here, I would love your feedback. Even if you cannot attend something or you wouldn't, just tell me like what you would, right? Because every single one of you that listens, that supports me, that loves KAYA, that loves the people in KAYA, every single person is really an integral part. I promise you, it is a community. So I want to know your feedback. Text me, email us at comeasyouare@gmail.com, hit us up on Instagram at KAYA_community, both with K's because Kambria. Whatever way you can contact us, that would be amazing. We want to hear from you. So I hope you all have the best week. Oh yeah, just to throw in some astrology, May 8th is a new moon in Taurus. Beautiful time to start something new with money, finances, art. Like if you're an artist, May 8th is a great day to start a new project, bring in something new, announce something new, our value systems. And y'all, it's Taurus season. Get out it's Taurus season. Let's try this again. Get out into Mother Nature. Get out, put your feet on the planet, put your feet in the earth, feel her, give thanks to her. And I will see y'all on Sunday at the KAYA party, 5:55 at Biscott's and Daybreak. Bye.